Hello and welcome to our coverage tonight of EU Friday Night Fight, brought to you by myself, Barton, and I've got two fine gentlemen with me this evening. I'm going to introduce my man, Purdy. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Purdy, and I am a warrior driver on In4IB. I'm going to pass it off to Schmidt. Schmidt, what do you do?
Hi everyone, I'm Schmidt. I'm an infantryman in 2 Platoon 1 section, and currently I do the role of combat team medic there to make sure that everyone comes out of every fight nice and tidy. So Barton, what are we looking forward to?
We're looking forward to a lot of content tonight, Schmitty boy. We are looking forward to a lot. So, I'm looking for those devious plays. Chat has not banned me yet from saying that word, so I'm saying it now. Get my full credit of it. Devious plays, blown up buildings, traps. Oh, I want all of that. Purdy, what are we looking? What's your eagle eyes on today?
See, I am aware of this devious content you're always talking about, and I was tempted today before I came on that I was going to put on a piece of multicam for every time you said devious. How about that?
Let me just slide in there. We already have the first chat interaction of the day. Tucker, our dear Captain Tucker, has already redeemed 250 channel points for us all to hydrate.
Oh,
so let's raise the glass, everyone. Let's raise the glass.
Glass pre-workout, right there.
And cheers to today.
Cheers. Very nice.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Tucker.
Hydration station is on fleek.
Brilliant. Right then. So, Schmidt, what are you looking forward to see on tonight's content?
I have to say I haven't been in actual in-game FNF for a long time because I do most of the back end stuff. I'm looking forward to a lot of memes being created again, and just a lot of tactical plays. I do always enjoy our boys playing and making sure that we have some nice content to watch. Obviously, we've got some names in FNF that always show up. We've got Fred, for example, that I did just see. I know we've got Twig King from TAU and those other people that like to take control and like to take leadership. I know the Mountains there again. And those are the people that really like to take leadership and have a new tactic every time to switch it up. So I think we're gonna be in for a treat tonight as well.
Looking forward to it, Schmidt. Looking forward to it. Again, we're bringing it here from Friday Night Fight from EU. We're going to be starting very soon, and I believe the teams are beginning to slot. So, Schmidt, you know quite a little bit about how this thing's all lined up. So, what are we looking at for our first round? What are we looking at there?
So, before I say this, thank you, Foika, for your sub. We've just received a sub from Foika. For those of you who don't know Foika, he does a lot of the J1 recruitment work for us in 4IB. He's actually playing in FNF and has subbed in the stream. I know Foika did my interview at 4IB, so thank you for the subscription.
Me as well.
Foika. Yeah, he does a lot of recruitment
Me as well. He does a lot of work.
So what we're looking at right now is a mission created by Tanfolk. Tanfolk, I think that's how he pronounced his name. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I botched it. We're doing sector, so map is going to be Turkestan. Our guys are going to be on Blue Force side, so they're going to be attacking. What it seems like, and they've got the 10% Blue Force advantage. What they're going to be having is 3 times Humvees, and they're going to be squared up against 2 times Gazes. Yeah, I think we're in for a very spicy first round. We're going to kick it off with a bang.
How many chat points do you think it will take you to say Townfolk for 10 times really, really quickly? I'd want that. I want that. Get it done. I want that.
I'm gonna say 500 channel point. I'm gonna
500
say
channel points. Let's get that in the chat.
Someone's gonna have to splurge 500 for me to do that.
So over to you, Purdy. You've been on the ground quite a bit on all of this stuff. So from your experience on the ground, what are you expecting from today?
Usually just a return to basics. Basically, a nice bit of RTR, getting your drills down. Make sure the tactics are sound, forming a solid base before you move forwards. Making sure that the right play is the right play. Because usually what's tended to happen is that command just tells you to just kind of advance. And obviously that's not the way you do things. But as long as the IC has a head on his shoulders, everything should be fine.
Very good indeed.
I'm
So
I'm I'm seeing
ahead. Yep,
something
Schmidt.
in chat again. I'm seeing something in chat again. This is beautiful. Stark has just gifted another sub to, and I know who this is. K-Pax. Who is? I know it's one of our 4IB guys. K-Pax, please identify yourself because it's killing my head right now. I know who it is behind the name. But thank you, Stark, for gifting another sub. And Purdy, you're getting a lot of attention in chat. You'll Sue and Barton as well. But you know, Barton, we've seen Barton now.
See me in the tie.
Yeah, we've grown accustomed to the Sue. But Purdy, you are getting a lot of fans in the chat.
Yeah, well,
Jacket.
there was a lot. There was a big bar to be raised. So I had to go above and beyond. So that's how we are.
Oh, it's Mr. Till. Thank you,
It's
Mr. Till. Yes, it's Mr. Till. And Banks has just said, Purdy is what would happen if Barton and Morgan had a baby.
Very nice.
Oh gosh. Right, gents, I gotta draw attention over to the game at hand. It was all good having a little bit of small talk here. So with the game at hand, they're starting to finish their slotting at the moment. And we're gonna have a look at the 4IB lot. And we had a previous commentator who's on the field right now. Where is he? He's not here. He's on the field. He's been a squad leader tonight. That's Eason. Mr. Eason is down on the ground today, and he'll be leading his squad to a certain death. No, I mean a glorious victory. Purdy, do you know anything about Mr. Eason and his leadership style?
If I'm honest, I don't think I've actually been under Easton's leadership. We've been under I've been under Starks. I do know that. Who else? God, Schmidt. Have you? How about you? Have you dealt with Easton recently?
I mean, I've been, if that's what you're asking, I've been in game with him a couple of times, and Eason is not in a leadership position at 4IB, but I know that he likes to take those leadership roles in FNF, and I do have to say, from the times that I have been led by him, he doesn't do a bad job. He's not half bad at it, and most of the time his tactics do work, and he keeps the section under control, or the team, we should say here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to how he's going to do with 2 teams with a full squad. I don't know if he's been squad leader before, but I'm looking forward to it.
And in the end, that's what it's all about. FNF is actually quite a really good foundation for your JNCOs and things like that, for anyone looking to aspire to rise up in 4IB.
Yeah. I do have a question. Would you happen to know anyone in chat with the display name Robert Barton 212?
I can't imagine who that would be.
Because that man has just been gifted a sub from Grim Reaper 1982, which, if I recall correctly, is that Niles?
No, I think is it Niles? I think it might be Yuckers. Is it Yuckers or Niles? Which one is
No,
it?
I think it's Niles. I
Is
think
it
it's, so.
Niles?
This stream tonight is just us going to be. Yeah, it is Niles. It is Niles. So this stream is
thank
just
you
going to
very
be
much.
us. This is just going to be us figuring out who the people behind the display names are.
Well, to be fair, my name isn't very clear. It's not exactly clear whose mine is. Oh,
it is Niles. It is Niles. So thank you for another gifted sub, and Barton, congratulations. You can now use the 4IB emoji in chat.
Oh,
Privileges.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Hey.
Right, chat guys, Schmidt, get on it. Get on it, Schmidt.
Wow.
What's happened?
Tucker's just gifted 5 tier 1 subs to Purdy, Corporal Bird, Norgard, Twiggy, and Jack Huds 97 to Hudson. Wow. Thank you, Tucker, for the 5 gifted subs.
Fantastic effort.
Oh.
Very much. Thank you very much indeed. So
Vils did get one.
It's all right. It's all right, guys. Don't worry. We'll take it. Absolutely. Thank you very much to all the subscriptions, people. Now, so 4AB has taken up the blue 4 side here. So they should be the attackers, I believe. Blue 4 are the attackers. Is that correct, Schmidt?
Yes, they are attacking, and we all know that the defense has a bit of an advantage. We've seen it before, and obviously it is a lot easier when you're on the defending side. That's why they do have the 10% advantage, our attacking guys. But I think we can see some devious plays tonight.
Hey, devious plays. What devious plays do you want to see? Shit, you use my terms. You use my terms here. What exactly do you want to see? Because we had some previous good stuff. We had like So I'm commandeering a vehicle and driving around like it. Hello, you there? You're planning to attack there? I won't tell anyone, I promise. You had that. We've also had a couple buildings dropping down on people. So what particular one out of those is your favourite? And what are you looking to see happen again?
So I know. I think it was last week. The crane was very interesting. I have to say. I've never seen that in my time at FNF. I've never seen something in that fashion. That was definitely a very surprising play. But I don't think in the end it's something funny to see. But I don't think in the end it's a really tactical play that benefits everyone. Um, but I mean, I don't know. Our 4RB guys, they have a lot of stuff, and now I see that one RCC, I think that's how you pronounce them. It's a French name. I'm not going to be pronouncing the whole name. They're on the defensive side, and they're known for their defensive plays. They're known to stand their ground. One RW is on the defensive side as well. So it is a good defensive force that they're coming up against. But I think if we see some vehicle action, obviously they do have those 3 Humvees that they can utilize, and if they can maybe utilize one of the Humvees for a distraction maneuver, just put it somewhere in the woods, start shooting there, and move a squad around the other side, that would be something that could be pretty glorious.
Good to see. Good to see. And there we are. The round has gone into setup time. That gives them 15 minutes to discuss various plans they want to do. Particularly for the defense, they need to use this time very wisely because they need to be building things and all these other mannerisms they need to create. So let's go planning over the map and see what they have to work with. So first we'll go review what the attackers have and see what they will be working with today. So I'm going to go, Purdy, you're going to be my attacking mindset for this evening. What do you think the attackers can do with the vehicles they have, the numbers advantage they have, and the terrain that they got to work with?
Well, usually we've dealt with Pakistan before, but depending on the amount of armor that we've got for a start, usually crossing those open fields is a massive challenge. So if we have close armored support, I would say that it could be fairly easy.
Close armored support, absolutely. So do you think they should make a coordinated thrust against one of the 3 sectors at a time, or do you think they should do it all at the same time, Purdy?
Usually, to what tends to work on uplink game modes is the all eggs in one basket scenario. Just overwhelm that initial first terminal, and that way it just snowballs from there. There's just the defending team just can't stop the momentum.
Quite right, quite right. And I'm going to go to you, Schmidt, for this one. From a defending mindset, what do you think the defenders should be doing with their setup time? And I'm going to pan over to the vehicles now so you can get a little bit of idea. So they are a numbers disadvantage. That's the first thing they've got to realize. And they're on the clock of how long it takes for them to defend. So what do you think's going through their minds? What do you think they should be doing right now?
I know they do like a bit of they do like to do their combat engineers, and I know they love to play around with them. So I'm always a fan of utilizing those combat engineers and just putting some stuff down the roads. You know, maybe creating choke points. Obviously, we can create trenches and fortifications and all that. So that is definitely something they should use their time with. Create those fortifications, create artificial choke points. So stuff that isn't there from the map that they create themselves. Maybe even booby trap those choke points and kind of make it really hard for these attackers to find a good point, because obviously in attacking, open space is your best friend, because you can spread out, you can utilize that firepower. So if they create those little choke points that they have to force the enemy through, they can just put a GPMG down there and just slaughter them.
So let's assess each one of the sectors, because I am of the mindset that they, as a defending team, you can't really split your forces too wide because you can get defeated in detail. Because usually the side with the largest numbers usually wins an engagement. So if they spread groups of small groups around everywhere, they'll probably lose them if the attackers remain coordination and be able to surround those elements. So looking at the map currently, what sector do you think the defenders should be building up and defending, Schmidt?
I know in the past couple of missions that I've been there, they liked what I've seen a lot is that they leave a sector out. So, for example, what they would do is, sector one, as it's the closest one to the blue force spawn, they would just say, we're not even going to focus on that. We're just going to leave it blank. We're going to spread our forces out from sector 3 and sector 2. Have the most firepower there. I don't know if they're going to be doing that right now. What I'm seeing on the map is the independent forces still in their spawn around sector 3. I don't see anyone moving towards sector 2 yet. What I would do is I might send my X-ray, so my snipers, my recon force, maybe somewhere in between that, somewhere between sector 1 and sector 2, kind of see where blue force is going. So you want them close to the spawn. You want to see where they're committing first. Have maybe a small force in sector 1, but I would focus definitely on sector 3 because you do have the most time there, and that's kind of your home base. And I would really commit most of my forces to just one sector, so you can just spread out the time, just let it run out, and then have that one ending epic fight.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to agree with you there, Schmidt. They should spend all their time defending Sector 3 in this case. Because looking at the terrain of Sector 1 and 2, very open, not very defendable. There's not a lot of things you can build stuff around. Yes, you can build standalone hard points, but you can't build it for enough to garrison an entire team around that sector. Purdy, just after we looked at the terrain there at Sector 1 and Sector 2 and Sector 3, what do you think the attackers are going to be doing at the moment? What do you think their mindset is? Are they going to try to take it more cautious approach and see if they can take any of the sectors without any fight? And so they get Sector 1 and get Sector 2 if they've been abandoned without much fight, and then coordinate a massive assault on Sector 3? Or do you think they're going to try to charge in expecting a fight, and if the Green Four do occupy these positions, get caught out for it?
Personally, I think the recon elements are going to potentially hook round, look into each objective, and possibly coordinate an assault from there. Like I said before, all the eggs in one basket approach usually seems to kind of work. And like you said, the sector 1 and 2 being completely open, that's completely in their advantage. Maybe if they move fast, use the vehicles that they've got, move in and storm in, it should be a relatively fair fight. But it will ultimately go in their favor.
Yeah. Now it looks like Green Four are starting to move out from their positions with 9 minutes of setup left to go. They've yet to build anything of note, and all of their vehicles aren't armored. They're all like soft skin vehicles. So realistically, they can't really do much with them. But there is a lot of them. So vehicles, they like taking down buildings, don't they, Schmidt?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm getting flashbacks from that question. I'm sorry, I had to gather myself there for a second. Buildings are a very hard topic in FNF. They do like playing around them, and in previous FNFs, I've seen buildings go down. I've seen buildings collapse, and I remember an FNF match about maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago where we ended up in the middle of a city where I think it wasn't sector control. I think it was objective like explosion where you had to where you had to take over the 3 objectives, and the last objective was in the middle of a city, really in a densely populated area. And the last fight that we saw, it was I think 2 blue 4 guys versus like 6 green independent guys. The last fight was really just centered around buildings. It was really like you would imagine from a movie, just wandering around the buildings, running around, shooting through windows. And if you know how to utilize it, if you know how to use that obia, I think it can be your downfall, or it can really be a blessing, depending on how you utilize it. So especially in FNF, buildings are a huge topic.
Absolutely. Again, the defenders have still yet to build anything. They're still sitting around their spawn. They need to be getting out there. What are they doing, Schmidt?
I'm seeing the Goal Force, which I think is one of the vehicle forces right here. They're kind of taking charge and taking the role of the X-ray force, and I can see them. They've taken one of the gazers and just parked it somewhere. If I look on the map, it is on a hill that is looking straight towards Sector 2. So what they might be doing here is they might be just looking out for Sector 2. They might not be planning to take it, but just look out and maybe inform their command structure if it is being taken and by how many forces. So I think they're kind of doing the role of the X-ray force. What the actual X-ray force is doing, I can't tell you right now. Let me see if I can find. They don't seem to have an X-ray force. Oh no, they do. What is the X-ray force doing? Let me take a look at that. The actual X-ray force is still in the base briefing. So I think they got an early start. They definitely got an early start with that with those two guys from Golf getting that gas out and taking the feelers out. And this might be the start of what we predicted. This might be the start of not occupying Sector 2 and just maybe looking out for it.
So yeah, defenders still just sitting inside the area, not really building anything. Still not building anything, which is not very good. Do you think they don't have the capability this round to build anything, Schmidt? Has that been changed or?
It shouldn't. I mean, it shouldn't be. As far as I remember, if I recall correctly, it shouldn't be. It should be everything should be done. I know I can see Alpha right now. There we go. Now they're starting to build something. They have that one little bunker. They start building a trench here, and where are we on the map? We're overlooking Sector 3. So what they decided to do is they have that Charlie team here, who are directly in the building. So again, as I said, look at them. They're all in a building. They're not around it. They're all in a building. They're just storming that building. They're going to be trying to shoot from that position down here. We have one guy back here in the building just spotting, but mainly we have that the Alpha team building some trenches. We can see some Hesco barriers now, and I think they're just going to be overlooking and utilizing that hill position.
So they're really all putting their eggs in one basket. It's what I would do in this situation, but they haven't really developed it as such. They haven't placed the vehicles inside the town, like in different rings around the central defense point, where they could blow up entire buildings, where the attackers would try to get a break into the urban area. So a lot of devious plays, losing out opportunity here. But if I'm the blue 4 attacker, right, I would definitely be trying to look for the hard points they've set up and take those first before committing to the town. What about you, Purdy? Would you do that as the blue 4 attacker here for Sector 3?
So what I've noticed at the moment is that they're actually pointing all their defenses into the town. So they have no 360-degree defenses in that respect. So essentially, an attack from behind, or from any side for that matter, could, if they put all their eggs in that one basket and they take that position, ultimately it makes that defense, the offense, much easier to attack that objective with. So it could actually, these defenses seem like they could ultimately work against them.
Absolutely, absolutely. It does seem like Green 4 have now finally decided to leave their base. I know it's a very nice base, got a nice bush, bit of grass, quite nice.
I do have a question for you though, Barton, because you're gonna like this one.
Oh.
What we see is a lot of off-roads, so we have a lot of civilian vehicles that are easily blown up, and we have combat engineers. Now, what would you personally, in your capacity as someone who does this regularly on our op nights, if you have a combat engineer and you have these beautiful off-roads, what is going through your head?
Well, I would get in the mindset of my enemy. Absolutely. I'll be thinking, right, if they're attacking my home, my nice little home over here, my nice little base with the bushes, bit of grass that I didn't want to leave for the majority of my setup time, how would I defend against such attack? I know they're going to go look for the hills first and then come in, but where are they going to come into the town? Because that's where most of the bloody fighting happens. That's where most people get a bloody nose, and it's a really hard slog. So you've got to go in with the best numbers possible and hope you're going to win that engagement. And that's where it all comes down to PvP skill. So what little things can I do in preparation going into that urban fighting to give myself the upper hand? And that is exactly as you pointed out, the vehicles. They've made an effort to give you a massive arsenal of vehicles, of which can be a conga line of explosions if you park them correctly. So if you wanted to completely blow up this area here or any area of the town, you could literally connect all these vehicles together and then detonate those vehicles with just one explosive statue. And now can take out as many buildings as you set it up to be. But it seems to me that the defensive team has spent too long having a little bit of a chat and hasn't really endeavored to build any solid positions. As Birdie was saying earlier, like 360 around the hill. They've only got defensive in one direction at the moment, and they're still rushing to build it, and it's near the end of their setup. So We'll see if that bites them in the arse realistically, and if Blue 4 can rush them and capitalize on their unpreparedness. But back on to what's going on the screen, it looks like Green 4 are also garrisoning Sector 2, of which they haven't built anything for yet. So in Sector 2, there isn't a lot of cover. There's a lot of pipes, a lot of bushes, some trees here and there, but a lot of sand and open area. That's the main problem.
A whole lot of nothing.
Exactly as you said, Purdy. Whole lot of nothing. And they're rushing to build stuff now, but as an attacking force, I would be like, right, they can barely defend these open areas and my number superiority. So I'm going to go 1, 2, then 3 in terms of the sectors I'll attack. And they've just split off their elements here in Sector 2. If I was the attacker, I'd split them up from Sector 3 to Sector 2 so no reinforcements can come in, and then surround it and defeat this Green 4 element in detail with my superior numbers. Purdy, what do you think? Do you think this defensive decision to defend both Sector 3 and 2 is a good decision? And what would you do as an enemy commander to combat this?
Oh, you know how it is. Ultimately, no plan survives first contact. And as I said earlier, getting out that recon element into the middle of those three objectives, finding out where the enemies are, and then going from there. But from what I can see now, in hindsight, after the battle would have happened, is that potentially taking sector 1 straight away and piercing through the middle of 2 and 3, ultimately splitting the two forces off from each other, that end up surrounding either side, preferably 2, judging by the numbers here. But like I said, we're commentators looking from the sky, so we can't really. You know how it is.
Absolutely.
There's a comment. Sorry, Barton. There's a comment from Quickie saying you look a bit thirsty, and that's why he's redeemed 250 of his channel points for us to hydrate again.
Thank you very much, Quickie. And as Quickie's done that, the game has started. So get your hydration in. We got a lot of talking to do, or a lot of laughing. Depends.
Oh yes.
I can see Delta. I can see Delta zooming, and they seem to be heading straight for that sector 2.
Absolutely.
Oh, they're zooming.
Looking on the map right now, you see Blue 4 is also split off into 2 different elements, north and south, both heading east, of course. But it looks like the northern element is stronger than the southern element. So maybe that northern element's going to try to take Sector 3 straight away, and then they've got easy sectors for the last 2 pushes in case they lost quite a lot of numbers on Sector 3. But this southern engagement, I think, is going to decide the game.
From
Whoever
what I can
wins
see,
this southern engagement will win.
And from what I can see is that their vehicle movements for both forces are actually heading down around either side of that mountain to form a pincer movement on Sector 1. That's what I can infer.
Absolutely. Recce is very important in this game, and it looks like one of the vehicles on the northern group has pushed on to get a bit of recce done on Sector 3 to see what their current condition is there. And Birdie, as you said, you are correct. He looks to be doing a pincer maneuver on Sector 1, and it should be quite a slow attack, but then they would get the objective without many losses. It's just whether or not that green 4 element to the southeast can pester them enough to cause casualties while Blue 4 take an undefended sector. Schmidt, what are you seeing? What's going on the ground? What's Green 4 doing? What's the defenders doing?
I'm following the attackers right now. I'm following Delta Squad, which for a second they've set up a very interesting position. They're now to the south, direct south of Sector 1, and it's happening exactly like we said. They did decide to leave that Sector 1 alone, and I can see if I go over here. I can see the Recce squad, the X-ray squad from Green 4 overlooking that, and they're just sitting on a hill in their vehicle, just chilling there, trying to gather as much intel as possible. And they did leave Sector 1 alone. So Blue 4 will be going towards that. They obviously don't know that, so they're going to be going in there very carefully. But that will be the first sector that they can successfully take, as it has been left alone. We can see the X-ray squad overlooking on the hill. We have another Golf squad, which is, I believe, the vehicle squad. X-rays in 2 parts here, divided into 2 parts. And then on the left side of that little line, we have Foxtrot, just a normal infantry squad. They've built some small trenches here, and they will be welcoming. They will be waiting there with welcome arms for Blue for Sector 2. They've kind of set up an extended line for Sector 2. We can see the second platoon HQ element in there. We can see the Delta Squad in Sector 2, and they are in the core of it. They're just as you mentioned before, they're utilizing those buildings. They've kind of hidden those buildings. But Foxtrot, X-Ray, and the Golf Squad back there, they're just setting up an extended line, and it looks like as soon as Blue Force starts moving up to that Sector 2, they will be welcomed with an independent force.
So, out to you, Purdy. I'm just panning over the defending team at the moment. As you said and predicted earlier, they've got all the defense looking roughly down into the town itself. As an attacking team, looks like their X-ray element is getting eyes on this hard position to the north of the town. That is going to be very key for Bluefor when they decide to attack Sector 3. What do you think the significance of them not performing this full ARD on this hill will do for the defense of Sector 3?
It will ultimately cripple it. That's it's succinct as I can be for that.
Oh, we've already got some fire going down. We have that Foxtrot squad that are in the extended line from Sector 2. They're already engaging those Blue 4 elements to the direct west of them. So we've already had the first fire exchange, and you can see those shots right now. They're just infantry shots towards a vehicle, but that Golf vehicle is just driving in circles. I think they're trying to waste ammo, but those shots are landing. Obviously, they're not going to do much damage to a Humvee, but we do see that Foxtrot has spotted that Blue 4 element. They definitely now know what to expect and where from.
Absolutely. Is there any casualties on either side just of yet?
It doesn't look like it. If I can go through the player side, there is green. Wow. It might just be that Humvee just took out one of the X-ray guys from Greenfall, because as you can see there on this side right here, and as I say that, Foxtrot is firing upon that Delta squad again. But X-ray is back there, and they were just in an engagement with that Golf Blue 4 squad, and it might be that the Humvee, when it returned fire, took out one of the X-ray guys from Greenfall, so that might be our first casualty.
Right. Looking back on the map, it does look like Blue 4 is doing a cross-the-front attack now, and the recce element of Blue 4 has reported that there's a vulnerability to the northeast of Sector 3 because they haven't made that full all-round defense on their positions. And it looks like that northern element is going to take massive advantage of this and come at Sector 3 from the northeast. We'll see how this pays off and how crippling these flaw in the defenses are. Purdy, what are we thinking? What do you think is going to start off in Sector 3? Do you think the Green 4 are going to be able to repulse this northeastern attack by Blue 4?
Well, they're going to need to in the end. One thing that has happened in this respect is that pointing that initial strong point in the direction of the objective could have been a very simple attack for Blue 4, but by kind of overcomplicating it and wrapping around and attacking from the northeast, that hard point facing into the objective is actually something they're going to have to fight up against now, and in the strongest possible configuration.
Absolutely right. It looks like Green 4 elements in the south are pulling back to defend the Sector 2 proper. So they're pulling back onto these points now, but there's not a lot of space for them at the moment. They've got roughly 2 buildings to hide in and some trench lines.
Oh wow, that Bravo element in the north. I think we've just switched places, but now that you've gone to the south, I've gone up to the north again. And Bravo 2 has just engaged, that Green 4 Bravo 2 has just engaged Charlie from Blue 4. And what this is going to do is they're going to light them up. They're being lit on fire right now from that hill. They're in a very open hill position, so they have no cover whatsoever. They have a smoke grenade down, but what they don't know is that Bravo is in a very bad position, because you can see next to the entirety of Blue 4, like, I think this is about 3 teams or something, 3 squads, plus that recce element even further back down the southeast, but they're going to be flanking Bravo. They're going to be coming from their side, something that they don't expect. So what they see right now is just 2 little, or even 1 little squad who have now retreated, but they're being completely outflanked by Blue 4.
That is a strong looking advance from what I can see.
Oh, who's this?
Absolutely.
Can we get a cam on this? There's just one blue 4 guy just strolling across the field.
He's looking very relaxed.
It's a casual walk, you know. How it is.
Countryside walk there.
It's absolutely.
Oh, now he's got his gun out, but where is he going?
So
At least he's wearing his mask, personal protection.
it looks like the
And
southern
space,
group
space.
of Blue 4 is completely doubled back. Sorry there, buddy. Completely doubled back onto Sector 3, so they're committing to this northern attack. And I think they're leaving Sector 2 as is. They've called it. They've called that the defenders decided to garrison both sectors. But now they're committing on Sector 3, and we'll see if that pays off for them. Purdy, do you think that was a good decision to back off from the engagement on Sector 2 and commit on Sector 3?
It was a roll of the dice, really. They worked off the information that they had, and it seemed that it hasn't worked in Blue 4's favour because that Green 4 force will act as QRF now.
It could be that they could, be vulnerable to a flanking attack now, but depends how much engagement they've given Green 4 and whether or not they've left any Peston units to harass Sector 2. It doesn't look like they've got any elements down near Sector 2 to pin that garrison down there. So it's up to Green 4 to recognise, hey, has everyone decided to forget about us, a nice little bit of oil field over here, and decide to commit on our town at Sector 3? Schmidt, how's the attack on the north going at the moment?
If you let me take a look at that, well, it seems like Blue 4 is they've just completely set up shop here on the what seems to be the northern side of it, and Bravo 2 is still in that position. They've just fired upon Leyden, who's the geezer down here, single man, the one-man army, and I actually think what started as a joke might actually be a serious distracting behavior or kind of distracting maneuver, because if we look at it, Green 4 are still the independent squad are still looking in that direction, and they're focusing on that one guy. They might be thinking maybe there's another squad there. We have Blue 4 to the northeastern side here. They've set up shop on the mountain. We can see X-ray, the recon element, further up on the mountain, and they're just looking down on that sector. They're looking down on Sector 3, and this might be very, very interesting, because not only do we have something to the north, but also to the west. We can see, if I pan my camera there, we have the Delta squad here, and they're going to be, we even have another Delta squad in Gulf and 2nd Platoon HQ, so this is going to be a 3-side attack. They're going to be coming from north, south, and west.
Has Blue 4 put any elements in reserve for this attack, or are they committing everything in the attack at the moment, right?
It looks like those elements back there. So Charlie 2 is the furthest back. They're just in their vehicle, just driving around. We can also see, I'm pretty sure this is also Charlie. Delta is also not very active right now. So they are just kind of getting their feelers out, looking. I know Golf is engaging right now from their Humvee. They're just looking. They're just throwing something out and seeing what bites. And I think when they will be kind of committing to that attack, they're going to be utilizing. I see Delta has now pushed in. They've driven past the Bravo 2 squad, but Charlie seems to be further back, and Delta as well.
From what I can see, Tau is absolutely unloading on that Charlie section right there. Unloaded a full box of Humvee M249 on them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It looks like Blue 4 have dismounted infantry and broken into the active area, but it looks like they've been outflanked by Bravo 2 elements of Green 4. They haven't cleaned up that element, so they made a committed push from the west. Hopefully that's to draw the attention away, make as much noise as possible, so this northern flank can come in and completely engage. But it looks like the northern flank has been spotted and is now starting to fully engage with this northern hardpoint. But at the moment, it's this urban fighting is going to decide the match here. Purdy, over to you.
Green 4 Golf looks like it's having a great time right now. They've just pulled up on the backside of Blue 4 Alpha, and they're just unloading. It's like fish in a barrel from what I can see.
Absolutely.
But now now the flank. Oh wow, that was just massive casualties right there. That was just massive casualties. I'm pretty sure he's just taken out the entire vehicle.
That is
wow,
not a good day.
And they're driving over their own, but they are being outflanked by. So the flankers are being outflanked now by that X-ray, that recon squad, or are they just driving past? Is this just a huge case of miscommunication?
The
It
fog of
might
war
be.
right there.
Oh wow. So that X-ray element, the recon squad has just driven completely past them. Instead of being a QRF, they've just completely missed them, and they're going. I don't know where they're going. They're going completely around.
Looks like this Bravo 2 element of Greenfall is now being sort of hit hard now. They've taken 2 times casualties. The northern flank is still strong, but not very effective. They're just firing at range into a covered position, so not too effective from Blue 4. Again, you were talking about that flank by with those that small vehicle from Greenfall that really hampered the attack, and that's what happens when you don't really have much of a reserve element. Blue 4 is fully committed to this attack, and it looks like they're getting outflanked already. Purdy, how do you think this is going to affect the attack, and do you think they're going to take too many casualties to take Sector 2?
I think Blue Falls actually pushed in too aggressively into that northern road, bypassing Bravo. Ultimately, got themselves into the village, but then they've sandwiched themselves between Bravo and command, as you can see right there. So ultimately, it's just going to be breaking down those forces, and you can see from the map elements that Blue 4 is not doing too well.
Definitely, definitely. What you just said is 100% accurate. They've pushed in too aggressive, and what they've done is they had those 3 sides. They had the the north, the south, and the west completely surrounded by Blue 4. And instead of pushing in together and kind of like sweeping Green 4 further into the city, what they've done is from that eastern side where they all came from and where Green 4 wasn't covering it, they've just from that side they've just entered the city, and instead of pushing Green 4 inside of the city, they've just kind of inserted themselves, and that led to them being surrounded by Green 4. So instead of taking them all with them and kind of, sweeping them further into the city, they've inserted themselves in the middle, and now they're being surrounded by Green 4 forces. So it was definitely very aggressive, and obviously that Bravo 2 squad that we were talking about in the trees right there, they just completely blasted past them. They were already in the city, that Bravo 2 element was still there, and that ultimately resulted in them being shot from the back.
Let's hope they can rescue it.
Absolutely. Purdy, so this western group of Blue 4 have now finally gotten a solid foothold inside the town without any Green 4 elements flanking them. Now it's just urban fighting. Do you think they've taken too many casualties to make a proper dent on this sector in this urban fighting?
Absolutely. Usually Fibua or Obio, however you call it, is casualty intensive for both sides. But ultimately, the attacking side is usually it's usually a Pyrrhic victory if it does happen. So let's just if they've got tight drills and a good aim, I think they've got a chance. But I'm not holding that hope.
It looks like that X-ray squad that we've just seen before, completely driving across the map. They've now dismounted to the kind of southeast of Sector 2. We do have a lot of Green 4 forces in Sector 2 still defending that. And it looks like, we do have at least 2 full squads there. And right now it looks like it's just going to be those 4 people from Blue 4 X-ray trying to get eyes on there and maybe even fighting those 2 squads, because Sector 2 hasn't been touched yet. It looks like Blue 4 has committed themselves completely to Sector 3, and it's we have a command element. We have Platoon 1 HQ and Bravo squad still on the hill. They're kind of just pulling backwards. It looks like Delta and Charlie, like I said before, the backup sections they're just overwatching as well, but Alpha has inserted them and Delta has completely inserted them into the city. And this is going to be an interesting standoff.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, looking from this Blue 4 perspective on their attack, it's gotten a bit bogged down. They haven't made many gains. They've occupied unoccupied positions, but they've used their northern elements just to skirmish rather than to also commit the same aggression. Not too sure why, because as we were saying, Purdy, they've built all the defenses into the town, and that's a key position to take the town. Why do you think Blue 4 haven't committed with such aggression to that northern hard point as they've done for the rest of the town?
Ultimately, I probably think it's the it's the fog of war. It's the fog of war. Just usually, no plan survives first contact, and as you can see now, it's a lot of driving around, spraying at relevant buildings, but ultimately there's not much coordination from what I can see. Although I will say that the fronts on the map seem to have tidied themselves up. It's a very clear Blue 4 Green 4 divide now.
Absolutely. It does seem like Blue 4 have taken a serious amount of casualties pushing this area. and green fort is still majority alive, it possibly negating their numbers advantage at this stage. Blue fort is very bogged down. They haven't made good ground inside this town, and they could lose it with this just northern engagement alone. It doesn't look good for blue fort at the moment. Schmidt, what are you calling this for at this round?
Oh, I think it's still too early to call, even though I would like to call it. I don't know who for. I mean, I can see right now Johansson, poor little Johansson, the platoon, first platoon commander, is just in this little compound, is just completely pinned down, and he's got a full fire team, 4 people from the first alpha team of Blue 4. They're just pinning him down, throwing grenades, and they're pushing that compound. And this looks like a 4 versus 1, but if you dig deeper into it, this is going to be huge blow, huge blow to Independent, because they're going to be losing their command element, and they won't be knowing that. So that is Platoon 1 HQ right there that will be maybe possibly going down. That's a huge blow to their command. That's a huge blow to their leadership. And yeah, as I say this, he just goes down. So that is platoon commander for Independent going down in a compound completely by himself. And now it seems like that Recce squad, that X-ray squad on the hill, is the only flanking force they have.
Oh, it looks like this Golfer vehicle has been outflanking the blue on the northern. Has now just seen the entirety of the mounted up northern attack just drive past him. He's going to give pursuit. Let's see how effective he is at dismantling this northern attack.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. So he's... I don't know if... Oh, yeah, now he's lighting up Bravo. I don't think before that they even knew that Golf was behind them. I don't think they had a clue. Now they're just driving in zigzags, and Golf is kind of lighting them up. We do have the command element here. So the whole team commander, the whole maybe brigade commander is driving past here, and if he gets taken down, then that's going to be even a bigger blow than losing first platoon for Independent.
Some would say that this Humvee has been very devious.
It's been very tactical, and it looks like there's another vehicle engagement at the moment. It looks like the 2 vehicles... Oh, they decide to ram into each other with this engagement. I'm not too sure whether or not that's permitted. Schmidt, over to you. What's happened here? We are on the southern hill of the Sector 3, and it looks like there's been vehicle-on-vehicle combat, and both vehicles appear to be roughly immobilized in terms of their being able to move quickly. What's going on here?
I've just seen that. Yeah, sadly I didn't see the collision, but that Delta vehicle, yeah.
If you don't mind me saying that, the X-ray vehicle actually rams the Delta vehicle, and it's actually not worked very well for them because they've taken more casualties than Blue 4 at this point.
Yeah, that X-ray squad, those infantrymen are being lit up by that Delta vehicle right now, and it looks like they've taken 2 casualties from that. I don't know. I do not want to go into the FNF rules because I didn't make them, and I'm not too sure about that. But I personally think that vehicle-on-vehicle combat is a bit. It is not the maximum that we could get out of these people. So it's not
the best content, but it's content.
Yes. And as you're saying, as you're mentioning that nice C word, I've just seen that Moses has contributed 750 points, and Joris Bonson 69 has contributed 850 channel points to the content challenge.
Well, it looks like Blue 4 has just lost one of their armed vehicles on this quite daredevil push on this hard point to the north. Blue 4's attack, it looks very bogged down. They're trying to take a new approach coming in from the east currently. Purdy, out to you. How do you think this new eastern approach is going to help them?
Oh, I don't think my opinion's changed at this point. They're taking too many casualties than they can afford to lose in order to take this hard point, and they've still got Sector 2 to take as well, as far as I remember.
Absolutely right.
They do. And what's happened now is we can see that on the north of Sector 3, Alpha 2 has kind of set up shop, and they've established themselves here. So now, not only is Blue 4 being engaged by a completely new element, which is, we're seeing some blue on blue. Someone's. Oh no, never mind. That's that's that Alpha squad engaging engaging in that command guy engaging blue 4. But this is very weird. The reason why I got confused is because you have one chap from blue 4 right here. You have one guy from Delta Twicking. You have him right there. You have Navy versus Nemesis right here. But the entirety of blue 4 is basically not even there to support them. So you have just like single people cluttered across the compound trying to fight their way through, and we're seeing a 1v1 right now between Navy and Nemesis, and this is yeah,
Navy
this is
is
not
absolutely fearless, I will say.
yeah, I know Nemesis is one of the FNF admins, and even though he's a very you wouldn't expect this of him, but he's very good in PvP. I had the pleasure of running one of the tests for FNF Titans against him, and no shame in me saying he smoked me every single round. He's very good in PvP. So they're just running across the buildings, and this is again the topic that we were talking about, Barton. Again, we have buildings. So they're just running around those two buildings, kind of a cat and mouse game, trying to chase each other. But yeah, they can't do it. They can't just kill themselves because one guy runs up the building, the other one runs down, one throws a grenade, the other one hides here. It's very hard, and we have those very narrow streets and those shops on the map Takistan, which make it very hard to just navigate through and get a clean shot off. And I think they've disengaged now.
And from what I can see, Nemesis has actually backed off, and Navy does have the drum mag, so he's got the advantage in that situation. But it appears to have died down now.
Yeah, he's just waiting here, and he's kind of retreated, waited for him. Navy's still in that building, but this is still looking very unorganized. You have Twicking right here, and I think he doesn't know Firefighter is above him. He's going to be going down. Is this going to be? Oh, yeah. I got the first person. Oh, and he runs out of ammo. Firefighter just ran out of ammo when Twicking tried to push him.
Oh,
but,
no.
Yeah, he just ran out of ammo. Now he's going to be peeking around. He's going to be waiting for Twicking to push up the stairs again. But this is, again, what I was talking about. You have two people, just single individuals, in the city wreaking a bit of havoc. But most of the blue 4 elements are just outside trying to fight their way in.
Looks like 4IB is still on strong with numbers at the moment, and they are pushing in from the east, and they haven't been noticed yet because they're in the dead ground from this hill. They've started to engage a little bit early in terms of some of the positions, and they haven't actually made a break into the Green Fort area. So it's like I'm very confused about this Blue Fort attack. I'm not going to be honest. Oh no, I am going to be honest here. Sorry. Other way around.
That would be preferable.
It would be preferable, wouldn't it? Right, so Blue 4 made an aggressive push to get into the west side of Sector 3. But the same elements that made that aggressive push then pulled back to the area where they killed the Green 4 element that was outflanking them originally. And now they've lost a load of numbers, and then they've now pushed back into the point they originally pushed. It looks like the command and decision-making for Blue 4 is possibly could have broken down. Maybe there's a bit of miscommunication. Purdy, what do you think the state of the coordination of Blue 4 is at the moment?
Sorry to slide in. Just as you say that, Twicking goes down to Firefighter, so that one single guy they had in the city does go down as well, which essentially means Independent has full control of their sector again.
Fantastic. From what I can see, Blue 4 is actually spread out incredibly thin. From what numbers I can see is that if Green 4 can actually break some of these lines, I think it's going to be a Green 4 victory.
Absolutely. This decision making. Look, you've got Blue 4. Like the communication, I believe, between the elements of Blue 4 is completely broken down here. You've got Blue 4 elements literally lying right next to the Green 4 hardpoint on the north, which they were previously engaged in, hasn't been taken. And it looks like this man called Mike is completely oblivious to all the Green 4 elements just right next to him, standing at this bunker. It's not looking good for Blue 4 at all. It looks like their communication between their elements have broken down, and this game can still be called for Green 4 at the moment. Any change, any arguments coming from you two?
No, I'm just looking at this, and Mike, as you say that, Mike goes down. He's been engaged from the side, and now who is this? If I get the overlap, that's Money right next to him. He's now been aware. He's now aware of Alpha 2's presence right next to them, essentially, and this is very bad because they do have that high ground. They're on the hill. They can just shoot down. Grenades are being thrown that just roll down, and this isn't really looking good for them. I mean, I can see the 4RB guys who are just sitting in the compound trying to fight their way through. But essentially what that's done is what Purdy said at the start. They pushed in too aggressively, and that's just resulted in them taking way too many casualties. The command structure got completely rattled. They're very very wonky on their feet, and they don't know what they're doing, and that just kind of they fell apart. And Independence got that, the northern side of the city, they've got that under control again, and this is resulting in a firefight. You don't have that stability, you don't have the stable Blue Fort presence. It's still an ongoing firefight, and Sector 2 hasn't been taken yet. I don't think it's even been touched yet.
I think there is actually a large cluster of Green Force forces still at Sector 2.
Yeah, the garrison is still there, correct, Purdy? Greenfall have still not committed all of their numbers. It's actually, it does look like it's going to Greenfall's advantage. They have the numbers advantage now, even though they're the defending team. None of their hard points inside Sector 3 have been taken, and Blue Forces still can't make any ground here. So from what I thought would be a comfortable Blue Fort victory, just from certain decisions, it just swapped its tables. We thought that the long time it took Greenfall to set up meant that there wouldn't be much of a fight once the hard points have been taken, but the hard points haven't been taken, and it looks like it's still very strongly in Greenfall's favour. Purdy, what do you think from the Blue Fort perspective you could do to turn this around in the situation?
Ultimately, well, we need to find out where our current Blue Fort forces are, and I understand that happens in the fog of war, where you just kind of have to deal with the enemy that's right in front of you before you can start looking out further. But from what I can see is that from three directions that there are Green Fort forces visible everywhere. So the signs for me would be to pull back and reassess the situation.
It does look like Blue Force lost all the coordination. There's still coordination in terms of the smaller element side squad level, but in terms of platoon level, I think they've lost all of that command structure, and no one's really stepped up and trying to take that position. Again, Green Fort is still garrisoning this northern hardpoint and also garrisoning Sector 2. So even if Blue Fort could take the Sector 3, the northern area, they would still have a number disadvantage for the other point that they need to attack. I think, I keep saying this again and again, it's Greenfall's game here.
Although if they do possibly take Sector 3, there is a chance for them to compose themselves. But how are they doing on time?
They still have more than 15 minutes left to take the sectors. Usually we get a countdown in the bottom right telling us how long they've got left, as well as a notification. But looks like some Blue Fort elements to the south are trying to pin down this garrison element, the Green Fort on the south. But ultimately, they're just harassing them. They're doing harassing fire. This game was decided in this northern fight, and Blue Fort still hasn't made any substantial progress. They need to get into this town and need to get and fight into the sector, which will literally be an uphill battle because they're fighting uphill. You see, I got that. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, love that.
Pun intended.
I'm reading the chat right now, and Spooky Ghost 5, I think, who is Yuckers. I think he said Blue Fort gave up all their momentum, which is what going to cost us this round. True. I think I'm looking at Sector 2 right now, and we have that Golf squad, so that vehicle back there. We have the X-Ray, the Recce squad. They're just giving up pop shots. Like you can take a look at this. It's just a firefight. There's no casualties being taken. There's no real damage to be done. I mean, Golf's retreating even now a bit back towards the hill, but I think we can see another Golf vehicle from Independence. So we've even got reinforcements coming to that second sector, even though they've already have stable numbers and they're not low on ammo because they haven't shot a single round. What we're seeing is now really the momentum that got lost there on that first fight. I think it really might have been decided by that Bravo 2 squad from Independent, who were just sitting in those trees, and Blue 4 just completely waltzed past them. They got shot in the back. They got kind of surprised, and I think they didn't hold their ground. They didn't reorg. They didn't say, okay, that's fine. We still have a plan, and we can still do this and this. What they did is they kind of lost their heads. They kind of lost control of it, and that just resulted in them losing an essentially one battle. If you just take a look at the numbers, because they committed their whole Blue Force squad, like you said, Barton, their whole Blue Force squad committed them towards Sector 3 against essentially half of Independent, a bit more than half of Independent. So numbers wise, they should have won that. They didn't. They encountered a lot of casualties, and Sector 2 is just chilling. I mean, if we can just say how it is, they're just chilling
They're
there. They're just
vibing,
doing nothing.
straight
Yeah,
up vibing.
they're just relaxing. They don't have anything to do. And once if those remaining Blue forces come towards Sector 2, they're going to be fresh and they're going to be hungry. They're going to be out for blood. And that might be the deciding factor if it even comes to Sector 2. At this point, I think everything can happen in Sector 3.
It's just like that one guy that gets lucky, gets a chain kill, can really change the game here. But as it hands, I am still comfortably calling this a green for, because again, like as we were saying, it wasn't just that they lost momentum, but there was no consistent amount of it. You have the northern group doing skirmishing, while the other group was slamming straight into the side of walls to try to get inside the urban area. There was no concerted effort from all round. There was like, I'll shoot at them a little bit over to the north, when they should have been getting in their vehicles and charging through the open field to get onto that point. But that just did not happen, and it led to that northern hardpoint being able to help repel that slamming action from that western Bluethorn group, and that's what lost their aggression. But it does look like Bluethorn have finally gotten onto the hill where all the fighting is going to be decided. Just building fighting at the moment. Good content, nice content here.
Now that you say content, sorry. Let's take a break from the tactics. Thank you, Fisher, redeeming 1,200 channel points. Take off your ties, boys. It's commando time.
Come on.
We're doing host wear tie commando style for 15 minutes.
Is that around the forehead?
I think it is. I think it's the Rambo ties.
Right, hang on, give me a second.
1 second, headset's gonna have to come off.
Oh, headsets are off. Thank you, Fisher.
Oh,
We love it. 15 minutes. I'm setting myself a timer. The timer starts once Purdy's got his. And wow, that's so fitting. 15 minutes remaining in the game as we just see it. Bluethorn has encountered a bit of casualties. Purdy's got his. Timer starts now. I think, yeah, we've got mission time remaining 14:45. So I think when the game ends, when the game ends, you're free to take your ties to the correct position again. The 15-minute countdown has just been called. How does that feel? A bit of breathing room.
Oh, it's it does look good. It does look good. It looks like 4B are finally getting really close to the sector 3 now, and they've made good progress now. They've finally actually gotten into the town. But again, these, even if they win here, they've got to win another battle down to the south of the garrison down there. So it's all about maintaining the people you have, trying to win the sector, and then withdrawing as soon as you can. But again, Greenfield still own the northern hardpoint, that hill, that dominant hill. And now there's Greenfield firing into reinforcement elements of Blue coming from the southeast. Purdy, you managed to sort that tie out, yeah?
yeah, so
Rookie mistake. You just
it is a rookie mistake.
Yeah, you don't want to retie it on your head. It's a little bit, above your head.
The collars are buttoned up. If you can't see, so
Oh.
you can't take it off as
fancy
one thing. You got to do it.
Oh,
You got to do the whole thing.
there's a rocket coming in. Don't know the
yeah.
effect at the moment. I think it was a near miss. Oh,
Now Alpha 2, that off-road is just snaffies. Just driving past. Oh, and Levi's just been taken off. Yander's there. He's trapped in the corner. Yander's really trapped in the corner. That's Foyka. That's Foyka laying down fire.
Oh no! Our subby guy Foyka. We got a sub in peril. Everyone pray. Everyone pray for our Foyka.
So that's Foyka laying down fire, and he's in a very good position. He's just taken out Levi. And,
Grenade's just been thrown at Foyka, I believe.
Oh, he's seen it. He's sniffed it.
Well, mate, I'm rooting for him.
He's got his weapon down when peeking, which is interesting.
Yeah, so Yander's really trapped in between. So you can see. Oh, and those are the shots coming from. Those are the shots coming on from Ash as well, who's up there, and they've gotten into that off road again. And Yander's going around the corner, and he makes it around the corner. Oh
no, Foyka!
And Attila goes there. Oh, Attila's back up again.
F's in chat. Attila's back up. Come on, Attila. Your buddy's just been killed. Don't run away. No. Come on, Attila.
The Austrian man. Oh, and he goes down to Nemesis.
Again, Nemesis, as you're saying, good in PvP, good movement.
How many kills does Nemesis have? Let me see this. Where is he? Nemesis, Nemesis, Nemesis. Nemesis is on 3 kills right now. For the
It's a good
first
day.
round, that's not too bad.
Too bad at all. So looking on the map itself, it looks like there again numbers advantage to green for. Oh,
Oh,
it
it
does
doesn't.
look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does look like he's not down.
it looks
Attila's
like.
still.
Yeah, Tilla's back up now. Little
Saved
tank
by the
he
server.
is. Little train that could get inside this building.
Oh,
And
what?
probably going to do half an hour of medical now.
Bit of desync.
So we'll come back to him after he's done his half an hour of medical. It looks like Blue Fort is dealing with casualties, and again, they are very bogged down. But Green Fort has abandoned the northern hardpoint, or it's been assaulted and taken over. So very interesting there, seeing what they can do with this at the moment.
And it's very you can see the lack of communication, or maybe just them not communicating, because obviously most of the command elements are down now. You just have certain individuals running around, and that is what this resulted in. We have Delta 1, 2 vehicles, 2 Humvees sitting on the hill, providing a bit of fire cover. And they don't know that the Blue 4 individuals, the infantrymen, have invaded the city and are kind of in the core of it. So instead of kind of supporting them, they're just sitting on the hill providing fire cover. And now that I say that, the golf squad from Independent, I have no idea what they're doing. I think they're just doing a bit of recon, just with their binoculars out, looking out to the back. Blue 4 has no idea that they are being counter surveilled. But I think at this time, Barton, Purdy, I think we can call it. I think at this point we can call it for
I
Independent.
called it half an hour ago. What are you talking about? But yeah, quite right, Schmidt. If you just have a look at the just general positioning, this is the situation they should have been on their last sector, right? But they've yet to take another sector as well. So this is the situation. 10 minutes left. This is what happens usually on the last sector that they need to take. But looks like today it won't be that. And looks like Attila. Oh, Attila having a firefight with man. Whoa, it's all chaos.
Oh,
He
he's
went
taken
out
out
to win that.
firefighter.
He's
Get-
taken the firefighter out.
get
Oh
in
my
there.
goodness.
Oh,
Get it? Firefighter, eh?
Oh, what is Yander? I think
that
Yander's.
firefight with the
I think-
firefighter.
I think Yander's a bit taking a break.
Is he
Yander's,
Is he pulling
think-
the Stark? He's just playing dead.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've played ArmA for a long time, and I do not think that this is a model that you can choose to do. But yeah, it looks like Yander's just taking a break from the battle. And now that I say that, I am taking a look in the chat. Thank you, Star, 245 bits, and thank you, anyone can get it. That is the motto that is very close to my heart. The unofficial 2-1 section motto. Thank you, anyone can get it, for subscribing with your Prime sub. Yeah,
Anyone can get it.
anyone can get it. Truly, even Blue 4 at this point, and it looks like they will be getting it.
Taylor just walking down the street, casual.
There's still Wheaton here. I don't know. He's just hiding in the building. He's. I
Looks
mean,
like
he's peeking.
Lander is glitched at the moment. What you got to do to get out of this is you've got to surrender. I think, but I'm not too sure if he has access to do that at the moment in his current position. So he's just going to have a nice little sunbathe there, and that's pretty much him out because of the glitch, sadly. Again, Blue 4 is now finally clearing some of the last buildings here, but 8 minutes to take this point, and then the southern point, which won't happen. It looks like Blue 4 Adams have pushed in close to the southern sector, and are now going to encounter the garrison here. Ooh. Let's see what's going on here.
Wheaton is just mowing down people with his MG. With his GPMG, he's just sitting there. He's just mowing down the people. We have Navy, Indigo Fox, and Vlad just chilling in the building. They're being mowed down by that GPMG. And poor Yander, he's still. I mean, it's showing a fire animation on his little arrow thing, but I think that's very unfortunate for this round. But this is ArmA. We love it. We hate it. It wouldn't be ArmA without its little flaws.
It's arcane ways.
Yes, but don't worry. ArmA 4 is coming soon. TM. Sometime, maybe.
Looks like Blue 4 are engaging a bit on blue and blue here with King Sheba. Back in looking at what's going on, they're nearly taking sector 3 here. Again, Green 4 elements are starting to try to flank them, harass them as much as possible to make the countdown go. There was a southern push we didn't see by the elements, the harassing elements of Bluefall to the south, but they encountered the Greenfall garrison and they got wiped out. One of their armored vehicles got wiped out, and the other element decided to pull back to the west. So there's no easy take for Bluefall in the southern sector. I think they're expecting Greenfall to be in a lot worse shape than they are in right now. And is there anything Bluefall can do to turn this around, Schmidt?
I mean, it really, I need a miracle. There's a grenade going down. Is that going to hit Navy? No, it's not going to hit Navy. I mean, Wheaton at this point is the only one, in Sector 3 right now. Is that, yeah, Sector 3? Wheaton is the only one from Independent. But if you take a look at it, there's we've got 2 Golf vehicles, or we've got 2 people from that Golf squad up on the northern side. Oh no, well there is Yanda, but you know, rest in peace.
Looking at King Sheba, he's done a little play here and not gone through the front door. He's going through the top door. Oh.
He sees the bandages. He sees the bandages on the floor.
He does see the bandages.
That's some true big brain.
Oh, and Wheaton comes out. He gets sprayed.
Oh,
and he loses the 5. But no, like I said, you know, aim at the balls. Aim at the balls is pushing him now. Oh, and he goes down as well. Wow, Wheaton's done a mad one.
Wheaton has been holding this building and is, again, as we were saying, like small little plays where just like 1 or 2 people can really change the way the game worked. We thought Bluefall were going to take this position, but it looks like Bluefall still has to fight uphill again to try to take Sector 3.
I mean, you asked me what Bluefall can do at this point to still win it, and you know, I've noticed something funny. Bluefall hasn't even taken Sector 3 yet.
Yeah.
Bluefall hasn't taken, so this entire fight that has been going on, Bluefall hasn't managed in the midst of it, in the chaos of it, to take Sector 3, because at that point they could have just retreated all their forces, committed all of them to Sector 2 and maybe still pulled something off. But this game essentially was just Bluefall versus Sector 3. We didn't see any action on the other sides. I mean, there were 2 fire teams, 2 teams on Sector 2. They didn't really have any impact. I think they shifted around to Sector 3 as reinforcements. I think at this point it's more than safe to call it for Independent, because if we take a look at Sector 2, if I just get my camera over there is one lone guy. Who's this? Oh no, there's 2 guys. They're just what the fuck is this?
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance.
There's just
Rick,
2
is
guys.
that your professional assessment? Is there a chance of Bluefall or is there not? That's the question.
No, never. I had hope. I had hope for a second, because there's 2 Bluefall guys running around here, but they're blowing themselves up. They're just having fun. No, look at the Independent forces right now. Look at them. I really feel for them. I'm really sad for them. Imagine being one of those squads in Independent sitting on Sector 2.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not fun at all.
It looks like Lander is able to fire from his current position, even though he's ragdolled, which is interesting. So he's just knocked down Indigo Fox here and caused another casualty. Again, looks like someone's charging out with a AT stick and it goes down. So Torpid Wheaton has been shot in the arse, and attackers have now taken Sector 3. On to Sector 2. Attacking clan. I'm going to go to you, Purdy. You're my attacking guy. Attack clan.
Yes. I'm just clapping. I'm just thanking God that they've took Sector 3 finally.
To be perfectly honest, in terms of when stuff breaks down, it's very hard to get that momentum back. And in attack, you know, momentum is very key. So Sector 3, it looks like Greenfall has had a lot of time to dig trenches and just build stuff, because they haven't really been affected here much. Again, even the garrison alone here has a superior number advantage on the Bluefall, and I don't really know. I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, are they going to try to rush down Sector 2, the remnants of Bluefall, knowing this 2 minutes ago?
Well, there's no other choice.
Surely.
So,
I mean, yeah. I think at this point they have to, but I don't think even that is going to do something, because we have that one that golf vehicle, that infamous golf vehicle that has done absolutely I don't want to say absolutely nothing, but they've just sat in the back lines, just peeking, watching through the binoculars. Maybe they've given some crucial intel, but they've
Intel's
just
very
been
important.
yeah, they've just been driving past and not really engaging in firefights. I know Yanda's still there, and
They took out a whole
who's that?
Humvee, I believe.
Yeah, Vlad is just treating Indigo Fox right now with 1 minute 45 left. I think Bravo 2. This is just Attila with someone else driving around in the Humvee, kissing the wind goodbye. I think, but I don't think with 1 minute and 30 left and with 4 people or 3.5 people, what it looks like, they're going to be able to take that sector. I think this is Independence game.
I don't think Vlad should be busy doing medical when there's 1 minute left.
I mean,
That's
never leave
the
a man behind.
Priorities.
Yeah, sure.
Never leave a man behind. Oh, and there he is. Oh, yeah, Indigo Fox is back up, and now he's firing at the floor. He's mad.
He's good. He's good. He's happy now. He's happy.
Yeah.
Got 60 seconds left. Has X-Ray decided to push in to the point? I believe they did. Yes, they have. They've actually got a foothold inside this point at the moment.
Now this is interesting. This is interesting because I don't actually know what the overtime rules are. This might go.
He needs to stay in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I spoke too soon. Yeah.
Never
yeah.
mind. We
Never
don't need
mind.
to think about overtime rules anymore because I don't think
30 seconds.
I
Is
mean,
Attila gonna get in?
wow, this is
This
nail
is
biter.
war.
Nail biter. I think he might be able to get into the sector. I don't know what the overtime rules are. It might kick into automatic overtime, but he's being shot. He's being shot from those gold squads. He's being shot to his northwest. He's being engaged with them. I think right now his main goal is just getting to that. There's explosions. He's being lit up from every side. I think his main goal right now is just to get into there, and it looks like
He is taking all that fire.
Independent, I believe, has defended, and Independent wins.
Yes. It does
And
look
just-
like.
Just to cement that, I believe that was the last blue fort elements taken out. But
No, we still have a command element. I mean, we still have. Oh, that's the command element. Okay, so Vlad is apparently the commander for this one, but we do get the mission completed screen, and that is round 1 of FNF EU.
Very nice.
Perfect. Right then, out to you, Purdy. What was
What
your
do I
favourite
say?
moment from that? What was
What
your
do I
favourite
say?
moment?
I've got to say, I think it's Landers. I think Landers did an exceptional job lying on that floor, being perfectly camouflaged. It's very good.
And you, Schmidt, what was your favourite moment?
Yeah, I did like Yanda, but if we're talking about oh, and Yanitsky's bragging again about Scandi. We know Scandi Recon, they love a bit of PvP. 14 kills for Scandi. So hats off to them. But I think my favorite moment, if we're talking about actual moments, was that I think it's either Alpha 2 or Bravo 2 from Independent. Maybe they didn't even have anything to do with it. Maybe it was just Blue Force doing, but I did like that they held their ground. They didn't get run over by Blue Force and essentially turned themselves from a defending force into a flanking force. Again, they didn't do anything to achieve that, but they just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And I think that was a very pivotal moment, and that might have won Independent the game.
For myself, my favourite moment. I think it was. Oh, it's actually very hard to choose. There wasn't many devious plays. You know, I love that. There wasn't a lot of devious plays going down today. One thing I did like was one of the Green 4 vehicles was able to outflank one of the flanking forces to the north, and caused quite a lot of casualties with that vehicle. And then it ended up spinning around and running the guy over. So that was my personal favorite moment.
I think it was that Golf Recon vehicle that did that.
Yeah, Golf Recon vehicle, Green 4, very good.